Welcome to a live episode of Spurs in Focus right here on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts. You want to pick a platform wherever you get your favorite podcast? We are there. Go subscribe right now. Don't forget about the Substack, Spurs in Focus Substack, completely free. I don't charge a dime. Just Google it, hit subscribe, and you are a part of the crew. My name is Jeff Garcia, longtime Spurs writer in San Antonio. The gentleman next to me, you know him and all me. He is Mr. Rudy Campos of The Sports Answer. Follow him on X at The Sports Answer, and follow me on X at Jeff G. Spurzone. And thank you for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Ignore the rest. Unsubscribe to those other fools, man. You only want to subscribe here to Spurs in Focus for all things silver and black. What are we talking about today? We got a lot on deck. We got summer Spurs. We got a new Spur that maybe, I don't know, some people, fans didn't really want. And there's some fans like Rudy's probably like, sure, why not?
I like it.
And then we have the biggest news of the day. There's a new coach, a familiar face in the NBA, but definitely a much-needed boon for the Spurs after losing Sean Sweeney. Billy Donovan is the newest assistant coach. We're going to get into all that. And, of course, your comments. Rudy is the czar of the chat room. Put those comments in. Rudy, also tell them about Super Chats.
Yeah, so great way for y'all to support us out there is through a Super Chat. What is a Super Chat? That gets you to the front of the line. It's basically a donation to Jeff and I. And you know what? That helps us because not everything is free. You know, we have to do a lot of stuff behind the scenes here. But we also give back. One of our great Super Chat guys out there, you know, he's been really supportive of our show. His package went out a couple of days ago. We send out prizes and stuff like that to you guys too. So appreciate all the help that you provide to us here. And yeah, best way to help us out is through Super Chat so we can continue the channel to move forward.
Absolutely. I'm looking at the chat room right now. We got James Espinosa in the house out there in Corpus Christi, Sunday Sports Rush. What's up, James? Glad you are here.
Great show.
By the way, James, you owe Rudy a beer, man. You owe him a beer.
He did.
He stepped in for you.
I will not turn down a beer. So yeah, definitely. I'll drive to Corpus. I'll meet James halfway or something.
There you go. Or he can just like PayPal you some cash. Some of that. No, we're just kidding, James. We know crap happens. So like I said, stuff happens. But Rudy, we got to get into this right now. We didn't get a chance to talk about the latest player signing. If you thought it was Rui Hachimura, nah. If that was John Collins, nah. If you think the Spurs were going to address the power forward need by going to aged veteran 33-year-old Tobias Harris, guess what? You were right. The Spurs, according to reports, have signed veteran forward Tobias Harris to a 2-year deal. I'm going to give you my 3 reasons why it's not too bad. But your initial reaction, Rudy, when the news came up, because let's face it, when we talked about free agencies a few weeks ago or a few days ago, he was kind of high on your list, and you were kind of telling fans, watch out for her Harris. He could land a Spur.
Yeah, so Tobias Harris has always loved San Antonio, you know, just in general, the city. He's always loved the organization. He's your prototypical Spur type of player. No coach, nobody has ever talked bad about Tobias Harris. He's a guy that comes in, he's a blue-collar guy, he gets the job done. And yeah, he was high on my list. Why? Because go back to your NBA Finals run by San Antonio, Jeff. You needed a guy that can come in and get you a clutch basket. Tobias Harris had a really good run with Detroit this past playoffs. Pretty much everywhere he's gone, he's been a focal point, whether it had been Orlando, the Clippers, Philadelphia. He's always made an impact wherever he goes. He gets you a bucket when you need a bucket. Spurs needed a bucket in those fourth quarters. They were having a hard time buying one. You saw the struggles of Keldon Johnson. You saw the struggles of Carter Bryant at times. The only guy you could really trust off the bench was, you know, Dylan Harper. So having a guy like Tobias, whether he starts, doesn't make a difference. That means you're going to probably bring Julian Champagny off the bench. Again, it just solidifies your bench to have another player coming in that can get you double digits when needed. Tobias Harris is a great addition. I know everybody went for the big guys, John Collins, you know, Robert Williams. You still have Rui Hachimura out there, but you know, there's still some big guys out there, but what Tobias Harris brings, he brings a lot of experience, a lot of veteran leadership. And a lot of people were bored, Jeff, hey, why did we sign Harrison Barnes if we're going to sign Tobias Harris? Tobias Harris has more tread on the tire than Harrison Barnes does, and he's continuing to play at a high level. So you're getting 2 great veterans in the locker room. You're getting 2 great guys that are community guys. Everything points to Tobias Harris as being a great Spur and a great fit. Love the signing no matter what.
Yeah, look, I'll be honest with you. It wasn't the sexy pick that I thought the Spurs were going to go with. I thought the obvious was Rui Hachimura. Younger, still
Mhm.
feel the power forward need, played exceptionally during the postseason, but so did Tobias. We're going to give you some numbers in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
So, honestly, Rudy, I was not too thrilled. When the news came out, I was like, I guess that was kind of my reaction. Like, I wasn't mad at it. I was like, all right, cool. It could have probably done better. I just thought Rui was a better fit because of the age. He's
Yeah.
on his current Spurs timeline, can develop with his team perhaps longer than 2 years. By the way, for those of y'all wondering, the report is it is a 2-year deal at 31 million. More on that in just a few minutes.
Sure.
But ultimately, I think you got a guy that sure is up there in age, but you also got a guy that, let's just say, he's probably an expendable piece either this year, the trade deadline, or maybe next year, the offseason. That's an easy contract you can unload later down the road. But let me give you my 3 reasons why I think it was a good addition. Not the best. I think the better was Rui. But look, it is what it is, and it's actually not that bad. So here's my 3 reasons why I think it's going. Obviously, it addresses the forward spot. The Spurs needed to address it. You can't go wrong with a veteran guy who has a lot of battle scars, who's played with several megastars, just recently Kate Cunningham, so he knows what it is to fit in when he is not the number one guy. The contract was friendly. That was a very friendly contract. It didn't hurt the books of the Spurs. It allows them to have that cap flexibility that they need in case they do need to flip it or turn those numbers, those dollars, into some sort of bigger trade down the road. And as far as on the court, Rudy, I like that he can create his own shot. Despite being 33 years old, he is a guy, as you mentioned, that you can dump the ball to, and he will find his shot. He will get to the sweet spots. He will likely get you a bucket when you need a bucket. Unfortunately, we're not there with Wemby. We're definitely not there with Dylan. We're not there with Castle. Keldon, I think that ship has come and gone. Vassell, he is what he is. But you got a guy who finally can do his own thing, and he doesn't need a lot of touches. He can work within the system. I'm going to leave my 3 good reasons why Harris is a fit for the Spurs. What do you think about those?
Yeah, all 3 are great reasons. Number one, with the forward spot, he's what, 6'9", plays similar like to a power forward, maybe to a stretch four as well. So, I mean, you needed to get a guy that can come in, that can create, off the dribble, which Tobias Harris can.
Mm-hmm.
He can create his own shot. He can move without the ball. He sets a really good pick. He's a real great screen and roll type of guy. So he fits a lot of needs without being that sexy pick.
Right.
And let's go with what Jerry West, the legend and the logo, said at one time. The popular pick isn't always the popular pick is always the greatest, and the greatest pick isn't always the popular one. Something like that. So again, nothing that is you're going to write home to mom about with Tobias Harris. But if you look at everything that he brings to this team and everything that he leaves on the court, you start to think, okay, if he was in this situation in game 4 of the NBA Finals, we probably win because he gets us that additional 4 points in winning time, that 3 points in winning time. He gets to the basket. Does OG Anunoby get that rebound over Dylan Harper? No, maybe because Tobias Harris is right there, who's been in that situation, who knows to crash the boards and knows, box out this and that. There's a lot of things that Tobias Harris brings to the San Antonio Spurs team, and one of them that you mentioned about to create his own shot and forward spot is we always talked about the immaturity. They were a young team in the NBA Finals. They overachieved last year, but you bring in another veteran guy, a guy who's been in at least 7 playoffs in his career, 8 playoffs in his career already, was one of the best team in the Eastern Conference last year in Detroit. So you're not going to need Tobias Harris to come in and average, the 20 points that he might be capable of, or at 17. You want him to come in and get that 13, 14 points a game that he's capable of. But is he going to get that 20-plus points from now and then? Yeah, he is. He's going to get some of these games where you're going to have an off night by De'Aaron Fox. You're going to have an off night by, Victor, which we've seen, a few times this past season. those are the nights where Tobias Harris really comes in, makes a big difference. He's going to get you those few extra wins that you may not have won.
Mhm.
Come playoff time, he's going to be a different type of player, a player that you didn't have this year. You didn't trust Keldon Johnson towards the end, but you had to play him because your bench, which was supposed to be a deep bench, just wasn't performing for you.
Right.
You have Tobias Harris now to come off that bench if need be in those moments. And again, creating his own shot. The contract part, I like that you mentioned about the contract friendly because, yeah, if it, whatever case, if another superstar wants to come to San Antonio, his contract, Keldon's contract, they are all team friendly deals. So a lot of teams are definitely going to want to be able to look at those guys. But what I love about it, Jeff, is that it's a 2-year deal for him. I think he's going to be here for majority of the 2 years, and I think he's actually going to be successful with San Antonio.
Yeah, I think so too. I think you fast forward to the season and those naysayers, including myself. I wasn't completely sold on Harris. Might have a change of heart when he is that key guy down the stretch, when he is getting you a shot in close games. Let me ask you, Rudy, that massive collapse in New York City during the finals, does that happen with a guy like Harris on the court? I don't think so.
So, okay, I think it maybe still happens because remember, a lot of it was coaching too. So we don't know if Mitch puts Tobias in that situation, whether he's on the court in that situation. Mitch probably believes in Julian and Devin a lot more than he does Tobias at the time. We don't know. So it's kind of hard to play that. But if given the fact that if Tobias was on the court during that time, you probably don't see a lot of that stuff happen. You probably see him crash the boards, similar to the OG Anunoby play. So maybe that play doesn't happen. The scoring drought that the Spurs had in some of those fourth quarters, maybe Tobias, like I said, gets those 4 or 5 points that make a difference. I mean, Spurs lost a couple of games by a few points. So there's a lot of what ifs, and we can't really rely too much on the what if part. But going back on it, yeah, a player like Tobias Harris on those moments and in those games definitely makes a huge difference. I mean, come on, man. He's one of the reasons why Detroit got through at least 14 games this past playoff run. It wasn't because of Jalen Duren, who was supposed to be their best player, the second best player, but it was him and Cade Cunningham. And there was even a game where he had 30-plus points, and he led Detroit to a victory. So if anything, Spurs fans should realize that Tobias Harris is the real deal, and he's going to make a huge impact.
All right, let's get into some numbers now. So let's look at what he did for the Pistons during the regular season. We'll look at regular season first, Rudy.
Sure.
Everybody's tuning in. There you have it. Gave you 13.3 points per game, 5.1 rebounds, 2.5 assists. He did that in about 28 minutes. Played 63 games in the regular season. By the way, for the regular season and the postseason, Rudy and everybody watching right now, he was reliable. He played in 80% of those games.
Yep.
So, again, a guy that you can rely on who's available throughout the season. You look at other stuff here, and it shot great from the 3 line, 37% from 3. Sure. Took about 4 3-point attempts, made about 1 of them. I like this too. Look how smart play you can see in the numbers there. Just 1 turnover per game. And he was a plus 5.8 for the Pistons last season. Gives you a little bit of everything. 4.3 defensive rebounds. You can see on your screen, everybody. He even draws fouls, nearly 2 fouls drawn on the defensive end. Rudy, what else do you like about these regular season stats from Harris?
Yeah, I mean, I love the best ability is availability. And, Tobias for the past few years, I think the lowest amount of games he's played in the last, 6-7 years was 62 games, I believe.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's pretty much playing over 80% of the season. Come playoff time, he played all 14 games for Detroit this past playoff season. And again, what I love about it, Jeff, is that he's a very intelligent basketball player. Rarely does he make a whole lot of mistakes. Averaging that 13.3 points per game. Is he capable of averaging more? Sure he is. But the biggest thing that you're showing as far as stats go, what it shows on stats doesn't really show for character and for the type of player he is. He's a guy that's just going to come in and he's going to do whatever the team needs him to do. If Mitch Johnson needs to be that leader on the court, because De'Aaron's on the bench and you have Fox. I mean, if you have Castle, Harper, and Tobias in there, you expect Tobias to be that leader that he is prone to be. Also, you expect him to take care of the ball, to grab these guys by the hand and say, hey, I got you. When we're having these struggles, I got you. He's capable of doing that. I think with Tobias Harris, it makes everybody around him better. If he comes off the bench, it takes a lot less pressure off of Keldon Johnson, also a lot less pressure off of Carter Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
If he ends up starting, think about it, either Julian or Devitt are going to have to go to the bench.
Yep.
So that makes that bench that much more, better. Now you got 3 guys that could potentially be a starter on any other team coming off the bench. So yeah, everything points great to Tobias being a Spur. The stats speak for themselves. His history speaks for itself. I mean, a career 15.9 point per game guy. Been in the league since 2011. So what is he, a 14, 15-year guy going into the league now? So you couldn't have asked for a better signing. The money was right. There's a lot of great free agents still out there. Rui Hachimura still out there. But again, this is a guy that's going to make an impact right away for the Spurs.
Yeah, I think the Rui to San Antonio thing probably is over with the signing of Harris. That ain't gonna happen.
No, it's not. It's not
not gonna happen. And sorry, Rudy, LeBron James is not coming to San Antonio. Hate to break it to you.
Definitely, that's over. That's definitely over.
How much were you in tears when you knew all the signs were pointing to no more James, possibility of James in San Antonio?
I don't think I shed one tear, Jeff. If I did, it was because I was cutting onions or I stubbed a toe. That was,
or maybe you were crying tears of happiness and tears of joy that he was not coming to San Antonio.
I like the idea that we flirted with him possibly coming to San Antonio, but it all died when I found out he wants to do a documentary following him.
And that Spurs ain't gonna do that.
No, if I'm a GM for any NBA team, let alone the Spurs, I'm like, no, that's not going to happen here. I don't need that distraction. So you can go somewhere else.
Although there was a former Spur, that did have a crew with him that followed him throughout a year, and that was Tony Parker. Yeah, I remember going to the conference room in the tunnels of the at that time it was called the SBC Center, I believe.
Yeah.
And seeing them follow him everywhere. So that was the last time I saw that happen, but it was Tony Parker. That's one of their own. They're probably going to say, sure, no problem. And now Parker still in his peak mode there. But no, going back to Tobias Harris, look, solid regular season numbers. Think about this too. He had to put those numbers up because Cade Cunningham was out for a bulk of the last season. So he became kind of the de facto number 1 for the Pistons last season without Cade. Now, so solid regular season numbers, right? But what do you do in the postseason? Let's be honest. This Spurs team is going to make the postseason again. They're going to shoot for another NBA Finals run. So this is what Harris did for the Pistons in the postseason. As you can see, he upped his game. 18.1 points per game, 7.2 rebounds. His three-point shooting did decrease significantly to 29% shooting, but 2.8 fast break points. Still getting it done defensively, nearly 3 fouls drawn per playoff game, 1.5 steals. I mean, look at that. Still money from the free throw line, about 83% shooting from the charity stripe, 42% shooting from inside the 3 line. What jumps out for you here?
Scoring, man. I mean, it just shows that, he can turn up the heat on the scoring column whenever need be. And that's something that I really, really love about Tobias Harris. Coming off again that playoff run with Detroit, he didn't shoot the ball very well from 3. That stands out to me in the playoff time. He shot barely 30%, if even getting to 30%. But again, it's the mid-range game that we like with Tobias Harris. It's him getting to the basket, drawing the fouls, almost averaging almost 3 fouls drawn against the opponent. So he shoots good from the free throw line. He shoots good from the mid-range. He's able to grab rebounds. He upped his rebounding total by 2 rebounds in the postseason, upped his scoring average, can make a good play, can make a pass when need be. Again, turnover prone. He averaged like 1 turnover in the playoffs. I mean, that's what I like about Tobias Harris in the playoffs, is the fact that if he knows he needs to turn his game up a notch, he really can. And he's not going to wow you. That's what I love. Another thing. He's not going to wine and dine. He's not going to wow you. He's not going to make you jump out of your seat. He's going to do the little things right. Everything we expected out of a player like Keldon Johnson, who's your 6th man of the year, you're going to get from Tobias Harris and more. And you probably aren't going to have a drop-off that you did from Keldon when he went from regular season to the playoffs.
Yeesh.
So, I mean, I think Derek Irvin on today's show mentioned it, what do you expect from your 6th man of the year if you're getting 3 points a game average in the NBA Finals? You're not going to get that from a player like Tobias. So that's where it makes the most sense, is come playoff time. this Spurs team shows that they're in position to still be title contenders year in and year out now. Player like Tobias Harris is that insurance policy for when you have guys that are struggling in the postseason. You don't have to worry. You've got a great veteran right there.
Absolutely. As you see, solid numbers. He's still putting up those numbers despite his age. I think maybe he has probably these last 2 years as an NBA player as his best seasons, where I've really seen the back end of his career. He's already there. Mm-hmm. This is not the same Tobias Harris from his Milwaukee days, Sixers days. So, but yet he's still serviceable and gives you more punch off the bench. Starting, we're going to talk about the ripple effects of bringing Tobias Harris on board. How does that impact KJ? Does he start? Who gets benched? Yeah, a lot to think about right here. Coming up next, right here on live edition of Spurs in Focus with my good friend Rudy Campos. He's with the Sports Answer. Follow him on X at the Sports Answer. Follow me on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone.
As the new leader of the Decepticons, I command you to subscribe to Spurs in Focus.
I suspect Starscream had something to do with that technical issue right there. You know he did.
So. Oh, I know.
I think so. You see him all laughing at us in that bumper there? Yeah.
I wish I could do his voice. I don't know why. It's just
he passed away. The Chris Latta. He was that iconic voice, also for Cobra Commander. Yeah. So, yeah. Did you ever see that episode where they had that play on that, where Cobra Commander met Starscream in a G.I. Joe episode?
I don't think I did.
It was like one of those one-off towards the end of the series run, and Cobra Commander. He said I don't know if he met him, but they did like some sort of like homage to Starscream. For Chris Latta. Hey everybody, we are back right here, a live episode of Spurs in Focus. I'm joined by Mr. Rudy Campos of the Sports Answer. He is on X at the Sports Answer. He's going to brag about that in just a few minutes. We're talking about Tobias Harris, his addition. What does it mean for the Spurs? What do the numbers show? We looked at all of that before the break. Now talk about the ripple effect. I want to start off with Keldon Johnson. This has been bothering me for a while. We saw that he wet the bed. I mean, if there's something worse than wetting the bed, crap the bed. He did them both in the postseason. How does your sixth man of the year do that in the postseason? How does your sixth man of the year average 3 points in the freaking NBA Finals? Now, that's all that said and done. Then they're bringing a guy like Tobias Harris. Is Keldon Johnson on notice? He is in a contract year. Now comes in Tobias Harris, a proven commodity in this NBA world, a guy who puts up numbers, who upped his game in the postseason, unlike Keldon Johnson. Could we be seeing maybe Keldon Johnson scoot down further in the second unit bench, Rudy?
That's a good question. Before we answer, we got a super chat in here, so I gotta do that. And of course, it's from our boy over at Austin Sports Talk with Austin.
What's going on, Sports Talk?
Austin says, "I like the Tobias Harris signing, veteran presence that can along with Harrison Barnes to help settle the team down, and his clutch and his clutch. Look at how many clutch buckets he made for Detroit when they needed it. I give it a B+ grade." Yeah, I mean, Austin completely said it there. It's that veteran presence that you're getting. But it's also those moments that you missed in San Antonio. You were a great team, the second best team in the NBA in the regular season. Come playoff times, you saw some struggles. Now, of course, we didn't expect them to ever lose to Portland. So that game one, that was kind of just a nerves type thing. But you saw some of the struggles a little bit with OKC towards the end. They blew out Minnesota in a lot of those games, but you saw the physicality. You saw them kind of get a little intimidated here and there, but then when you got to the NBA Finals, it was just a whole different breed. The Knicks kind of like they just turned it on the end there, and I mean, think about it. The Spurs pretty much led every single game, so I mean, that show you that they can start, but they couldn't finish the game. That's where Tobias Harris comes in. I mean, now it goes to coaching, which we'll talk about in a little bit here, because does Mitch trust a guy like Tobias Harris more than a Harrison Barnes in the NBA Finals? We thought he should have played Barnes a lot of those games there to kind of calm these guys down. Does he get the same kind of itch when it comes to Tobias Harris? Is he going to play him in certain situations? I sure as hell hope so. But yeah, I mean, with Austin saying that a B+ grade, I won't argue a B+ grade for the Tobias Harris sign. I may even argue A- at worst, But yeah, I mean, I love the signing there. But you got anything for Austin?
Yeah, I do. I would give it maybe a B. I think the Spurs could have done better. Again, I think Hachimura just fit better with this team. Also, for me, the biggest factor was the age thing. I wanted somebody younger at that spot. And again, no knock on Harris. I'm actually a lot older than Harris, so I'm not trying to bag on old guys, but I just think, for this Spurs young core, a young piece like Rudy would have been better. Puts up, I mean, not quite similar numbers, but adequate numbers, just as Harris does as well. But as far as clutch buckets, yeah, I mean, he's proven himself that he can create his own shot and get you a bucket here and there when needed. And maybe an indictment against this young Spurs squad, Rudy, that Wemby, Castle, Vassell and KJ aren't there yet. I mean, Wemby does not have a go-to shot, everybody. We all know that. He does not. He needs to develop that. But overall, a solid B for me. They could have done worse. They could have not addressed it at all and just said, no, we're going to go with Terrace Reed or bring somebody up from the G League. But it's still a move nonetheless. Looking more at the bright side of it, you hit it on the first segment, Rudy, that veteran presence. They needed it, especially in tight games that we saw in the NBA Finals. That's for him. Steps in, but appreciate it, Austin. Austin, did you get that care package from Rudy yet? Let us know. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, let me know. It says it's supposed to arrive tomorrow. Friday.
Oh, okay. So hope maybe I got there a day early.
I gave him tracking. So he's I always send tracking when we send packages. I always send tracking. But
all right. But as far as Keldon Johnson is concerned, you got to think he's on notice because Harris could supplant him as the sixth man.
Absolutely. I mean, as of right now, we don't know if Harris is going to be sixth man or if he's going to be seventh man or if he's going to be starting. He could be starting for all we know. A lot of that's going to be determined come training camp time. But does it really affect Keldon? I think more than anything, you are correct. It does put him on notice. The Spurs saw that he had a great sixth man of the year run. Some people argue the fact that he really wasn't sixth man of the year. I mean, you could argue that fact there. But then you get into the playoffs and it was just non-existent. It was as if Keldon Johnson didn't exist in silver and black anymore. I mean, he went from sixth man of the year to what are you even doing out there? And that's hard for a guy like Keldon, who was once a starter, averaging 20 points a game for San Antonio, accepted his role as a sixth man. I mean, flourished in the six-man role for the past couple of seasons to get his first taste of the playoffs and then get to the finals. And it just kind of was like, for what? I mean, that's the tough part of the hard pill to swallow there was the fact that the way that he struggled. I don't think they give up on Keldon. I mean, they know the type of player that he got.
But he has a nice tradable contract, doesn't he?
He's got a very good tradable contract, and that's the thing that I think a lot of Spurs fans, need to understand is Keldon, Devin, Tobias. A lot of these guys have good contracts that could be moved. If you're talking about bringing in a potential superstar to play alongside Wemby. These are guys that a lot of other teams definitely are going to want and are definitely looking at. But I don't think Tobias, basically takes over for Keldon, especially if he comes in as a sixth or seventh man. Keldon's probably still going to be the first guy off the bench to start the season. But I will say this on as far as we bring up Rui Hachimura and a lot of other guys. I mean, let's look at this part of it. We don't know. The Spurs could have maybe talked to Rudy, and Rudy's just not interested. So,
or he wanted more than 2 years and more money.
He possibly could have wanted more. There's rumors that he's going to follow LeBron James wherever he goes. He wants to play with LeBron. So we don't know. And I tell a lot of fans that they're like, why didn't we get this guy? We spent money on this guy, but why didn't we go spend the same money on this guy? He's better. I tell the fans, you don't know if they talked to them. They could have talked to him, and the one word could have been easy. Let me use John Collins as an example. How much playing time am I gonna get? Am I gonna start next to Wemby? Well, probably not. You're probably coming off the bench. I don't want that. I don't want that. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a lot of different reasons why players don't go to certain teams. Not because the Spurs didn't make an offer. They may have. I mean, their job is to talk to every free agent as possible
Yep.
and see who could they get to come by. So to say that we settled on Tobias Harris is not a bad thing at all. It's just he probably is the one guy that wanted to be here and has made it very clear in years past that he's wanted to be in San Antonio because he loves San Antonio.
He even did. You see that video he put out? How
Yeah.
much he's excited to join the Spurs and be in Texas.
He
I mean, it was the
loves
most
it.
Texas-centric video I've ever seen. And he knew his Spurs history. He was giving nods to TP and Duncan and Manu, and he flashed an image of Iceman. So he definitely loves being a Spur.
Yeah, I mean, we got another super chat for Austin. Before I get to it, known fact, if you guys don't listen to Sports Answer with me and Derek, Tobias Harris's dad was Derek Gervin's agent when he was in the NBA. Plus, he also represented George Gervin for a while. So
nice.
He's got San Antonio ties. He loves San Antonio. His dad loves San Antonio. One of the things that Derek told me when he found out Tobias was going to be a Spur, that Tobias's dad reached out and said, "You're going to be seeing a lot of me in San Antonio." So, again,
nice.
Similar to De'Aaron Fox, Jeff. De'Aaron Fox wanted to be a Spur. His whole goal was to get to San Antonio. His wife is from San Antonio. Tobias Harris is the same thing. They love San Antonio. They wanted to be here. You want players who want to be here to play for you. Why? Because it's a great locker room. It's a great veteran, great leadership. You can't complain on that. But we got another $10 super chat from Austin. Again,
thank you, Austin.
I understand Keldon Johnson in some people's minds crap the bed, but his rebounding energy and effort, doesn't get the credit it was part of dethroning the Thunder in Western Conference Finals. And then I don't think we're discrediting Keldon so much. But for his first playoff run, it was a very rough playoff run. Now, not immaturity, but the youth, not being there before, first time experiencing all this success in this year. Sometimes the lights are a little bit brighter and you kind of get into a little shell, and you know what? Who knows? Maybe next year will be completely different. You may see Keldon average 16, 17 points in the playoffs, get back to the finals. Maybe he's doing the same thing, 16, 17 points. So could it be big lights, big moment? We don't know. But again, it's just a learning experience for San Antonio going into this season.
All right. So then, real quick to address Austin, by the way. Thank you, Austin, again. Yes, KJ was a huge part of helping to join the Thunder. That's good. But this is a march to the finals and winning it all. You need him every series, and he was not there, especially in the finals. I would have forgiven KJ for opening round, semifinals, conference finals if he showed up in the NBA finals when it mattered. Everybody would have forgotten what he or did not do in the opening rounds and up into the finals. But he got worse. He got worse in the finals. He was nearly unplayable, Rudy.
Yeah.
He was nearly unplayable.
He didn't match up well.
He didn't match up well. And that's what makes me think, is Harris the better six-man option for this Spurs team going next season if he's going to come off the bench? Is there an argument to have him start? Because if he starts, then it's either Vassell or Champagnie. I don't think they will sit Champagnie because he's a better floor spacer than Harris.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
I think Champagnie gives them more threat for floor spacing than Harris. That was a tough, because you ain't gonna. Are you gonna sit Devin? You're not gonna sit Devin. That ain't gonna happen.
That's why you sit Champagnie. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I think that's what it goes to, Jeff. You sit Julian because you're not gonna sit Devin. That's ideally that's what it comes down to. Is that if I'm going with the starting five, it's more likely Fox, Castle, Devin, Tobias, Wemby. If you're gonna start Tobias. That would probably be the ideal starting five if you end up starting Tobias Harris. So I think Julian coming off the bench, it's something that we talked about last year, before last year started, with the potential of maybe seeing Harper, Fox, and Castle in the backcourt. You would start Devin and Wemby alongside them. This year, you're probably, if you're going to move one guy to the bench, it's probably going to be Julian Champagnie. And again, it sucks because you're right. He's a great shooter. He's a great floor leader, spacer. But Devin brings you a little bit more on, actually a lot more on defense. Devin can create his own shot. Julian is still learning to play off the dribble. So, I mean, once he starts to develop that similar game that Devin Vassell has, then you can say, okay, pretty much a guaranteed starter. You can't really remove him from that starting five. But if there's an odd man out, it's probably going to be Julian, just in my opinion there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, then here's another ripple effect. And by the way, thank you, Austin. I really, really appreciate that. Here's another ripple effect. Where are the minutes going to come from then for Harris? There's only 48 minutes in the game. And then there's only 12 minutes per quarter.
Mm.
Who is going to start losing some minutes? Because Harris is not the type of guy you bury on the bench. You play him. Play him. He's durable. He can be productive on both ends of the court. Yeah. So I'm thinking that goes back to Keldon. Do we see Keldon lose minutes? Do we see perhaps the biggest hit is Carter Bryant losing a bulk of his minutes to Harris? We might not see Carter getting heavy minutes next season with Harris on board. Your thoughts?
That's where I think a lot of it may come down to is if you're looking at whose minutes are going to get impacted, it might be a Carter Bryant type minutes. I could definitely maybe see Luke Cornett's minutes go down a little bit there because you can play him next to Victor. So you might see a Victor Tobias. And then when Victor's out, I mean, yeah, you're going to see Cornett there, but maybe not as much. The two guys I pick are Carter Bryant and Luke Cornett. And then early in the season, you saw Harrison Barnes get a lot of time too. So those minutes that Harrison may have may not ever be there anymore. He may go back. He may go into that Kelly Olynyk stage in his career where it kind of use him sparingly here and there, since Harrison's probably going to be more of a locker room guy this year. So there's going to be minutes for Tobias. If you're looking at one guy, it might be Carter Bryant that is going to get
likely guy. Yeah.
That's going to be good. But then again, I mean, could this maybe look at a trade down the line for San Antonio?
You think KJ?
Again, it could be somebody.
Jeez, can you imagine that? I can't imagine KJ not in this uniform.
No, I mean, not a lot of people can. And again, we're not saying that it could happen, but I mean, the idea is there because you're going to have to take minutes from somebody out of the starting five or somebody, on the bench. Can you limit KJ to, 15 minutes a game and give Tobias, 14 minutes? Can you take Carter Bryant, who maybe had 10 minutes a game? Do you drop him down to 7 or 6 minutes?
Right.
This is on the coaching staff, and we're going to talk to staff in a second here, but that's kind of the reason why I think they brought in Billy Donovan, because he's good. He's a former head coach. So this minutes thing could get a little tricky for Mitch Johnson. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I think Carter and Luke Cornett are the two guys, possibly Keldon, that are going to get some minutes taken away.
Yeah. I just really think it likely the bulk of them will be Carter Bryant. I think that's where you see the most of the minutes going to Harris. And look, you can't knock Harris. I mean, you can't tell Bryant, sorry, buddy, we're going to give you all the minutes. No, that ain't going to happen. I mean, that's freaking Tobias Harris. That's a veteran, been there, done that, battle tested. We saw, especially in the playoffs, how short of a leash that he was on, Carter Bryant, that is, and any little mistake, and he was yanked. And I don't know if Mitch Johnson gives Carter that much slack next season, knowing that there's pressure now where it's either conference finals or bust for this team after the precedent they set. I see we got another super chat, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Austin's back in here. Says, I was hoping that the San Antonio Spurs would go after Tim Hardaway Jr. to help
on my list
spacing, because I think not having the spacing hurts the Spurs in the finals. Just my thought. What do you guys think? Hardaway Jr. would have definitely made a huge impact.
He was on my free agent wish list, Austin.
But then again, it goes to where does he fit? I mean, that's the other part, is where does he fit on on the roster? So you've got De'Aaron Fox, because Hardaway Jr. is small forward, guard, 2 guard roughly. So De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, Julian Champagny, Devin Vassell, Dylan Harper. You're adding another guard to a very heavy guard rotation. Hardaway Jr. doesn't bring you a whole lot of rebounding, whereas Tobias Harris can rebound the ball. But Hardaway Jr. does shoot the lights out when he gets hot. So it's kind of, it's kind of hit or miss on that one. You want to keep adding shooters, that's perfectly fine. But then you got to worry about those times that they were getting out rebounded, especially in the finals where the Knicks were getting key rebounds in certain spots. And that's the reason why a lot of the Spurs losses in the playoffs in general, they were getting out rebounded in certain areas. So that's a catch-22, man. It's hit or miss. You want the shooting, or do you want to get a guy that can come in and get that rebound, that 1 or 2 rebounds that you need in certain spots?
Yeah, absolutely. And Austin, I had him on high on my wish list. Again, it was a wish list. Sometimes, Rudy, I don't think fans read things because sometimes I literally put on there, it's a wish list, like everything be damned. And I got comments coming back at me like, well, you can't bring them on because we have guards. It was just a wish list, everybody. That's all it was. It was just not a need list. And realistically, it was just a wish list. But no, seriously, I think Hardaway Jr. would have helped, but I think he's on his way to Miami now, right, Austin? Right, Rudy?
I believe he's on his way.
Yeah, he's on his way to Miami. Again, talking about Tobias Harris, though, because we got to wrap it up, so we got to talk about the other big news for the Spurs. Overall, it was a good pickup. It was good, not the sexiest. I think that's what a lot of Spurs fans wanted. They wanted a sexy pick like John Collins, who the Spurs have been chasing for years, and Rui Hachimura. Perfect fit, young. We saw what he did in the postseason with the Lakers. That's the guy you need. Tobias Harris was always like last on that forward spot list for San Antonio.
Yeah.
But look, overall, you would not only address the power forward position, you address the need for more veteran presence. You address the guy who can create his own shot. You got a guy who can do it on both ends of the floor. So all in all, again, it's a solid B for me. I think the Spurs could have done better, but it is what it is. Really, any final thoughts about Tobias Harris before we got to move on to the other big news?
Yeah, so Tobias Harris, again, great pickup. Love the pickup right there. Fills a lot of checks a lot of boxes off that you needed checked with this team. One of the biggest ones is when you're in that fourth quarter and you need a clutch player, a guy that can come in. Tobias Harris is that guy. He's proven that he can be that guy in the fourth quarter. He can go and get you a bucket or two when you need to get him a bucket. So love it. You give him a B. I give him a B plus. I'm right there. Could I make a case for an A? I probably could make a case for an A, but I'm going to give him a solid B plus for that pickup. Again, it's not that they didn't talk to other guys. I'm sure they did, but a lot of factors come into things, man. I mean, guys don't sign with teams for the littlest reasons. I want a third year. Well, we only want to give you 2 years. I mean, we don't know. But for Tobias Harris, you're going to see an impact right away. They're going to be one of the better teams in the West, no doubt about it.
And look at the ripple effect of just the contract. The Spurs, they gotten closer to the luxury tax line, but they're not there yet. They still have enough space to do some more additions to the roster. Again, not home run hits, big names, but complementary pieces. Hey, real quick, before we move on to Billy Donovan here, I saw this comment here from Picardo here saying, why are we crying to spill over Rudy? Rui could have declined our offer, but Harris is a nice addition. Come on. I think either you were late there, Picardo, or maybe you just weren't listening, because you know what? I did flash my 3 good freaking reasons why Harris makes sense earlier in the show. I did put it out there. So no, I am agreeing with you. You don't have to say come on to me. I dressed right there. Why it's a good addition for the Spurs. Not the greatest.
I don't think Picardo's going after you on it. Rui would have been a great signing. There's no doubt about that. And I don't think he was going after you on that. I think he's probably going after people in general who just didn't like the Harris. We're not saying you didn't like the Harris signing, Jeff. You do like the Harris signing, but there's a lot of people that completely hated it and bashed it as if, Tobias Harris's nickname was De'Aaron Fox. And that's, I mean, you don't bash a guy like Tobias Harris. He's actually beneficial in so many more ways than a lot of these other free agents that could have came out of San Antonio.
Hey, a quick story. So I had to go to a FedEx earlier today, so I get some notes that I need for Anime Comic Con that I'll be hosting this weekend. Everybody, I walk in, and somebody recognized me from the show. Hey, what's going on? I started talking Spurs and whatnot. Rudy, tell me why during the conversation it had to be brought up. The guy goes, I need De'Aaron Fox gone. I need him gone. He is done. My God, even you go to a FedEx just to make some copies, Rudy, fans really are just bagging on Fox even till today, man. Jesus Christ. I mean, are you shocked about all this?
You know what? These days things don't really shock me much anymore.
Yeah.
You Spurs fans cry, beg, plead for San Antonio to do something. They bring in a star. They bring in an all-star, and he's having a great season. Then in finals time, where let's be real, Spurs fans, they shouldn't have been in the NBA Finals this year. They weren't picked to go to the NBA Finals. So, there. I mean, you want to? Can I cuss on this one time?
Yes, you're allowed one cuss moment.
I'm allowed one cuss. Spurs fans want to bitch about what De'Aaron Fox did and this guy crapped the bed, but they fail to realize that this team was supposed to be a 44-45 win team, squeak into the playoffs, weren't expected to get to the NBA Finals, but yet because they got there, because they overachieved, now the whole world's falling. We need to trade this guy. We need to trade this guy. This guy needs to go because he lost us the NBA Finals. Well, guess what? You weren't supposed to be there to begin with. So why not just grab a pina colada, sit on the beach in Corpus Christi, and relax a little bit? This team overachieved. They can get back there a lot quicker now because they are that team and that damn good. Just chill out. We don't need to trade everybody because they have one bad playoff run.
The guy at the FedEx office said he wanted to trade Rudy Campos. I was shocked.
Oh God, please trade me.
He wanted to trade you to Kinko's. That's what he wanted to do.
Is that even around? Kinko's even around anymore?
Oh my God! Did I just show my age, everybody? I think I showed my age, everybody.
Well, that's funny because me and Derek were talking about places like Bonanza earlier. So yeah, we're
Bonanza. But oh my God, what was the name of that restaurant on San Pedro that everybody used to go to, like for proms? It was like was it Old San Francisco Steakhouse?
It's still there. Old San Francisco Steakhouse. Okay.
Oh no, maybe I think it was Spaghetti Warehouse.
That closed down. I was downtown. That was
downtown.
So
that's what it was.
There was I'll bring it up real quick. There's a place on San Pedro that used to be there. If you're a true San Antonio and you'll know the place. Fortunately, my mom was, not an owner, but she worked with the owners. So we were there like every day. Obviously, she worked there with the owners in the office. Maggie's Restaurant.
I remember that.
So Derek Gerber made a good point. You have never seen another restaurant in San Antonio and probably never will compared to Maggie's Restaurant. So yeah, we were going down memory lane, dude. So yeah, Maggie's.
By the way, breakdown 84. Bud Jones is still around, and I still go to my parents still go to Bud Jones.
Yeah,
they still go to this day. They go, well, we just came back from Bud Jones. Oh, we came back from Bud Jones. But I've been there. Awesome. I think I don't know the last time I was there, but I do recall this. The food was not the same like it was back in the day. It's taking a little hit.
I think Austin wants us to do another super chat with him.
Oh, yeah. What we got, Austin?
He wants to send us to Bud Jones. That's for sure. With Tobias Harris.
Took care of that tonight.
Yeah. With the Tobias Harris signing, how does this affect Dylan Harper? Because we talked about giving him starting 5 spot. Now that's in doubt. Or do you move someone else out there? I say Castle. Can I take this?
Because take it. I know you're all about this.
If you listened to the Sports Answer earlier with Derek and I made the comment and I said, if you've got an odd man out on the starting 5 and you have to give Dylan Harper a spot, you definitely bench Stephon Castle. As terrible as it sounds, if you really understand the facts, Stephon Castle goes to that 6-man role. Mm-hmm. Why? Dylan Harper is not exactly a 100% point guard just yet. He is a Manu Ginobili type of player. He gets to the basket. He's a scorer. Mm-hmm. So he fits well in that 2-guard spot right now until he develops that point guard's position. So yes, do you dare say Castle moves to the bench? 100%, absolutely. I'm probably going to get cooked on it, but if I get cooked, it's because you guys don't know what the hell you're talking about.
They don't know ball, Rudy.
They don't know ball. As the kids say, you don't know ball. Stephon Castle is a star right now. He's going to be an all-star right now. But if you have to make that decision and you have De'Aaron Fox on the roster, Stephon Castle probably goes to the 6-man spot if you need to start Dylan Harper. I doubt they do that. I don't see them doing that. I truly expect Dylan Harper to come off the bench to start this year again, and it won't bother him. Trust me, it won't bother him.
I know we're doing hypothetical right here, but hear what you're saying? Oh, Castle becomes your sixth man. Where does KJ fit in all this? You see what I mean? It feels like KJ is now becoming the odd man out in every likely scenario you can think of.
Blame Tobias Harris for that.
Okay, but that's what I said earlier.
But it's a good problem.
And you're like, I don't know if he pushes KJ out of the way because.
Well, no, he's not. I mean, KJ's still going to play, Jeff. We're not.
I understand, but starting opening night of the NBA season. Who's your sixth man? Is it still KJ or is it Tobias?
Are we assuming Tobias doesn't start?
Yes, we're assuming Tobias doesn't start.
Tobias Harris is my sixth man.
Wow. You see what I mean? Why does it feel like KJ is becoming just the odd man out now?
Well, I mean,
just overall.
Well, and I guess that's what I'm trying to get at too. Is are we freaking out that KJ is not going to be a sixth man? I mean, yeah, I guess you can freak out about it.
Imagine telling him again?
But you upgrade the position.
New role for you. We have a new role for you. You're now the seventh man.
Well, sixth man of the year,
starter to seventh man, eighth man now.
But sixth man. Okay, so are we looking too deep into it? Sixth man of the year doesn't mean you're literally the first man off the bench. I mean, it's just you come off the bench, whether you're the sixth man or the 10th man, you're coming off the bench and you're having success. So KJ doesn't necessarily have to be the first person off the bench. He can be, a few minutes later come in for so-and-so while Tobias is in there. Or if Tobias starts, do you bring – let me ask you this. If Tobias starts – do you bring KJ in before Julian Champagny if it's your way of thinking?
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I mean,
you're
right. It is good problems to have, but
it's a great problem to have.
It's just the more you look at it and angles and bend it this way and rotations this way, it just feels that guy you see on your screen. Man, how much more of a reduced role does he want to take now?
Well,
he's getting a reduced role because of just Tobias Harris and the emergence of Dylan Harper next year.
And we don't even know. We don't even know if he's getting a reduced role. I mean, for all we know, Cornette could be the odd man out, and we just don't see it. I mean,
the Spurs lacking big men. I don't think so.
Well, no. When I say Cornette being the odd man out, if Cornette's getting 12 minutes a game, I mean, you may put him down to 8. You may, you could probably go with KJ, in that 5 spot for a little while. I don't really know. I mean, that's the thing. It's a great problem to have because now your bench got one more player deeper.
Yeah.
But until we actually get into training camp and talk to Keldon Johnson and these guys, we have no idea how this affects them. I mean, there's still a whole offseason to go, man. We don't know if one of these guys could be on the move.
You see what you did, Austin, just by bringing up the Dylan Harper effect, man.
Austin brings up some of the greatest questions we have here, but he's right.
But Harper effect. Though, I mean, yeah, sure. We're looking at maybe Carter Bryant taking a big chunk of his minutes reduced next year, but he could leap KJ down the road.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely can.
Oh yeah, I think I'm sorry. Who put that on there? That was from Mangus 8417. Yeah, as he mentioned.
Okay, I'm getting it now. CB is about to. Yeah, I mean, so let's not play hypothetical now because I think hypothetical gets a lot of people in trouble. Carter Bryant leaping Keldon Johnson right now isn't happening right now. Let's be real. He's probably another good year away. If he has a terrific summer league, then you can make a case, but he still got to get into training camp. Mm-hmm. So I think Carter Bryant got his feet wet. They're going to let him dip his toes and his feet a little bit more into the water. Yeah. In Summer League, he's probably going to get a couple, maybe more minutes coming next year. But again, I think, what happens in the starting five is going to be determined in training camp. What you saw out of Dylan Harper is what you're going to get year in, and it's just going to get better. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to end up starting the kid at some point. Now, does that make De'Aaron Fox expendable? Do you trade De'Aaron Fox for pennies on the dollar like they did Jaylen Brown? I don't know. I mean, I don't think the Spurs want to get rid of De'Aaron Fox that quick. As much they're not fans, they don't think like fans. They're not going to get rid of a player that struggled because it wasn't just De'Aaron Fox that struggled. You would have to get rid of Keldon Johnson. In some cases, Stephon Castle with 20 turnovers in 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of players that had bad playoff runs this past playoff. So again, they're going to run the same team back. They added Tobias Harris. It's a great piece for them. We're going to have to see, and I think we need to move on to coaching, because I think the coaching that they got is going to make a huge difference.
I know. No, let's take another quick break. When we get back, let's talk about the hiring of Billy Donovan, the veteran coach. Big news today, or you're listening to this tomorrow because it's pre-recorded yesterday. The point is the Spurs definitely found the replacement for Sean Sweeney. We're going to talk about Billy Donovan coming up next.
Secret powers were revealed to me the day I held aloft my magic sword and said, "By the power of Grey Skull, I subscribe to Spurs in Focus."
Rudy, how long did it take for you to film that scene for Spurs in Focus? Because you must be hitting the gym. I mean, look at you. You're out there wearing a loincloth, showing off. You're just wearing a battle armor vest, and that's it, Rudy. Talk to us about that, man.
It took me a long time, and I'm not going to deny or, basically, I'm not going to deny or, verify that I wasn't wearing a bodysuit when I was doing a lot of that here. So, yeah, I can't. I don't know. I'm not going to say that. I don't have a training.
Rudy, you're on the good stuff, man. If we're looking like that, man, if Rudy looked like that, I think he'll show up to this show wearing just that.
I would not have a shirt on if I looked like that. I guarantee that. Any way to drive the super chats up, which we got another one.
Hey, you might get the ladies joining.
Do the Jeff Garcia pose like that.
No. See, I cover up, man. See, I make sure nobody sees anything.
We got another one.
We got a super chat. All right, what we got?
So at the Skin Sap says, if we trade KG at the deadline this year, I'm crying more than ending of Old Yeller. Man, you guys got me in the feels. Seems possible.
That's what I'm saying. It just seems that way. It just seems he's becoming the odd man out.
And it sucks to say that, because Keldon Johnson, again, community guy. I mean, poured his heart out into San Antonio, averaged 20 points that 1 year for the Spurs, accepted a 6-man role, accepted coming off the bench. I mean, he's done everything the Spurs organization has asked him to do. He hasn't complained about it, not once. And yeah, it's one of those trades where you don't want it to happen. And I'm gonna lay it out there, Jeff. They're not gonna trade him. I mean, he means too much to the team overall, and that's something that you just don't trade him. So I don't think they're gonna trade him. But if there's a player come knocking, and I mean, this player makes a difference for San Antonio right away, and they want Keldon Johnson, you got to consider. I mean, what's the minimum player you would trade involving Keldon for? I mean.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, I never thought about that.
I mean, if they coming up and say, okay, well, guys, guess what? We have an opportunity to get an Anthony Edwards.
I don't know about that.
No, I'm just saying.
I know you're just giving an
Anthony Edwards. Do we say goodbye to KJ and De'Aaron Fox? They want De'Aaron Fox and they want Keldon Johnson and draft picks. Do you say no? I mean, is that the deadline? Is it Portland saying, hey, we want to get Keldon Johnson from you guys, but we're gonna give you Donovan Clingan for him to go alongside Wemby? I mean, there's certain players you do it for. There's certain players you don't. Right now, there's very few guys that you can bring in that's going to make a difference in the locker room. So we don't mean to get anybody in their feels. I mean, not at all. We love that.
I would be my feels. I think. If it was up to me, he would retire a Spur. And at the low bar that the Spurs have for jerseys, his jersey would be up.
Oh, come on.
I know. That's for a whole other show. All right. Hey, first of all, thank you for the super chat there, SAP DX4M. I really, really appreciate it. All right. Let's get to the other big news regarding your silver and black. And the Sean Sweeney replacement is here. And it is that guy, former Bulls, former Thunder head coach Billy Donovan will be the lead assistant right next to Mitch Johnson next season. And what a get. What a hire. This is from ESPN Shams Charania. Again, he will be the lead assistant for the Spurs next season. 61 years old. Coached 11 seasons with the Thunder. Took him to pretty good, well above 500, 243 and 157 overall record with OKC. Had a Western Conference Finals berth there. Perennial playoff contender, one of the best teams in the West, the league when he was in OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Then went on to coach the Bulls, and then he stepped down this past April. That's where you saw, the recent moves right now for the Bulls and their head coaching search with the Thiago Splitter. But guided the Bulls to a 226, 256 overall record, one playoff appearance. I believe, even though the Bulls, Rudy, were not the greatest, record-wise team, they were still one of the better defensive teams. And that's what Billy Donovan brings, that defensive mindset next to Mitch Johnson. It's almost as if you're just getting kind of like low-key Sean Sweeney all over again, just in a 61-year-old body, Billy Donovan. Let's not forget, he's also a Hall of Famer. He was part of the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame class of 2025. Wealth of knowledge, a wealth of experience. Rudy, this might be the biggest get for the Spurs this offseason. What do you think?
Yeah, man. Billy Donovan was a name that we brought up on Spurs in Focus on the Sports Answer when he basically, he just left. And I said, you know what? The chances of the Spurs getting him are probably slim to none, especially after Sean Sweeney left. I thought, man, Donovan would be a great hire for them. And he's probably the biggest signing in the offseason for San Antonio on so many levels. Now, Coach Sean Sweeney, he should have been a head coach years ago. So, I mean, that's definitely great for Sean Sweeney. And then to get a replacement, you and I talked a few days ago about possible replacements. We said, the Spurs keep it in-house, and they're probably going to keep it in-house for a lead assistant. Then to come see that they get, Billy Donovan. First off, let's go with the obvious. He's not here to take Mitch's spot. There's no doubt about that. You're talking about Mitch Johnson, who took a team, they basically overachieved and went to the NBA Finals. Billy Donovan is the hire that is here to guide Mitch Johnson. Why? I brought it up earlier, Jeff. The struggles you saw in the finals, some of the questionable calls in playoff games that the Spurs lost. We also looked at coaching. Not only was it De'Aaron and those players, it was coaching. Maybe it was too big of a moment for Mitch Johnson. This is where Billy Donovan takes over for Sean Sweeney. Not so much the defense, but it is that experience as a coach, a two-time collegiate national championship for Florida. He's had success at the NBA level, one of the most respected coaches in the NBA. So this coaching hire right here, probably the biggest coaching hire, probably the biggest free agent that the Spurs got this offseason. It's going to pay dividends a million times more. Mitch Johnson is not going to make those same mistakes with Billy Donovan right next to him in his ear. A Popovich type of guy too.
Absolutely.
So, I would say you give me Tobias, you give me Billy. Billy's the number one signing in this free agency right now. Yeah,
I love the hire. You talk about, Mitch Johnson having that wealth of experience and then some. No knock on Sean Sweeney, but he was just still a young guy, a great coach. He got the head coaching spot in Orlando for a reason. Yeah. By the way, I'm a little surprised that they didn't give it to Billy Donovan in Orlando. That's interesting. But you see what the wave of the NBA teams are going. They're getting younger coaches now. Look at Spurs, look at Utah, look at Orlando, look at Boston. So, but no, I mean, solid pickup for the Spurs. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
You're looking at just don't forget too, he win championship with the Florida Gators? Like two of them, right? Like back to back. Yeah.
Two-time. And that was with a very underachieving, Joakim Noah. So, I mean, great, great. And the thing is, we got a super chat, and I'll get to this in a second here. But with Billy Donovan, it's you kind of said it a little while ago. I mean, he could have been the coach for Orlando, and I think they actually probably interviewed for Orlando. He had one place in mind, and that was Golden State. I think if he would have been able to get Golden State job, and Steve Kerr, remember, didn't know if he was going to go back. Right. When Steve Kerr announced he was going back to Golden State, that's when Billy thought, okay, I'm probably not going to want to be a head coach right now. Maybe gave it some thought. I'm sure Pop gave him a call and maybe convinced him, hey, you know what? would love to have you in San Antonio. But I think he wanted Golden State more than any job out there. When it wasn't available anymore, he probably settled for the assistant coaching job in San Antonio, as of today. So, again, great hire. And I'm kind of glad that he didn't take the job in Orlando if it was offered to him. I like the super chat. I had to get to it. I says, when I saw that chance was, I was like, wow, somebody not pleased with finals Mitch turning into Tom Thibodeau in rotation.
No.
Mitch is on notice.
No,
and
I don't think Mitch is on notice. No.
I'm glad I'm glad he said that, because remember when we did our live shows in the finals and the playoffs, we questioned, why is there not a bigger rotation similar to what you saw in the season? So
that's what you're saying. Yeah, I got you.
I mean, remember Victor played 28 minutes a game in the regular season, upped it up to over 33 plus. You saw how gassed Victor Wembanyama was, but you couldn't trust Luke Cornett because he was getting burned in the playoffs. So that goes back to Mitch Johnson. Why don't you play the guys? And I know, go on Spurs Twitter, Jeff. It's always, you guys are idiots because you thought Plumlee and Olynyk would have made a difference. Not so much that would have made a difference, but those extra 3 or 4 minutes you're giving Victor a break would have paid dividends. Why not put Harrison Barnes on Karl Anthony Towns? Just another body. Seems like Mitch got away from that thought process and made Victor play these 40 plus minutes, these 35 plus minutes. Something Victor has not done in his NBA career. You're expecting him to do it all of a sudden in the heart of the playoffs and the finals. It ain't going to work, man. Love that comment there. What do you got for this? We got a couple more super chats after this.
Yeah, see him. Keep him coming, everybody. I get what you're saying now. Mitch is on notice. Yeah, and that rotation got super short.
Yeah.
I was actually shocked that at minimum he should have played Harrison Barnes at minimum. At minimum. I don't think Barnes on the court is going to allow a 29-point debacle happen. But nevertheless, the point is that yes, I had the same reaction. I was like, wow, they got Billy Donovan. I actually thought they were going to bump up Corliss Williamson or Scott King. Those are my two thoughts that I had. I was like, okay, they're going to go with somebody in-house on that bench already. Scott King, proven guy, same track as Mitch Johnson, Austin Spurs, assistant coach, the routine. Corliss Williamson, he's paid his dues. He's been assistant coach for a while now, right? Corliss has for quite a handful of years.
He's been a coach for a little while. And he's going to get the experience with Summer League. Being the head coach of Summer League, he's going to get a great experience there.
And think about that too. I mean, now the whole coaching staff is going to have Billy Donovan at their disposal. I mean, that's a huge boost to the Spurs coaching staff as well. But yeah, good comment there, Sap. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we got Austin's back in here. Then we got another one from Sap here in a little bit. Austin says the Billy Donovan hire, I like it because he is a great coach, 2-time national champion, back-to-back with Florida, and helped the Thunder in 2020 during the bubble, winner at the highest level. And
absolutely, there it is.
That hits it nail on the head right there, because the back-to-back, Florida wins. It was Al Horford, it was Joakim Noah, it was Corey Brewer. I mean, he had a really good team at Florida to go back-to-back with. Coming into the NBA. Jeff, it's super rare to see a college coach come into the NBA and have success.
Right.
Larry Brown was the first one to do it. You see Billy Donovan had success. Brad Stevens came into the league. He's had success. So to see these guys succeed, especially like Billy Donovan, I mean, it's great, man. It's great. And the Spurs, again, this was the best free agent signing in the offseason so far. And I really feel like it's going to pay kudos and dividends to Coach Mitch Johnson. Hopefully, the thing that I want to see, as I mentioned by Sap earlier with the rotations, but it's also those moments at the end of the game where we saw the Spurs kind of fumble. Hey, remember against Portland and against a couple of other teams, instead of calling a timeout in certain situations, Mitch let them play through it. And well, we lost the game. We didn't have anything drawn up. We just kind of let them play the way. No, that's Bush League and CYO stuff there. In the NBA, it's a whole different animal. That's the time where I think Donovan says, you know what? We have a timeout. We're not going to take it to us to the next game. We're not going to get paid a bonus for keeping these timeouts. We're going to have to use it here. Plus, it also gives Mitch and the coaching staff another guy who's great on X's and O's in those types of moments. So, yeah, this is a tremendous hire by the Spurs.
Yeah, huge. And how big is it on the defensive end? His philosophy, as far as on the defensive end, everybody, is heavy ball pressure, aggressive screening, protecting the paint. So you'll likely not see some sort of drop off from Sean Sweeney leaving and now being replaced with Billy Donovan. Add the fact too that Donovan has more experience, more games under the belt, more high pressure situations under his belt with the Thunder. Bringing that to San Antonio, and it's good. This team is still young. You really think the Spurs are going to have a cakewalk to the finals next year? Probably not going to happen. I mean, look at the landscape of the Western Conference already, let alone the NBA overall. I mean, you got Jaylen Brown in Philly. You got Giannis in the East over there with Miami. We don't know where LeBron is going to land. If he lands with the Warriors, sure, maybe they're not going to have one of the best records, but you can't tell me that team won't strike a little bit of fear in you. You draw them in the first round or second round of the postseason. Utah is being slick. Rudy, Utah, they think they're slick, don't they? That's a dangerous team that's brewing out there. So the Spurs are going to have their work cut out for them, and that's where a guy like Billy Donovan can help. But appreciate that, Austin. Really, really do.
Yeah, another one here from SAP. It says Billy Donovan's a Basketball Hall of Fame inductee on his college merits alone, guys. Yeah, Mitch got the Spurs to the finals, but is he a Hall of Fame caliber coach?
Too early to tell. Way too early.
Not right now. I mean,
not right now.
I mean, it would take probably another few more trips to the finals and some deep playoff runs to even be considered a Hall of Fame coach. I mean, you got to remember, Hall of Fame coaches are they're winning titles and they're getting X number of wins. I mean, Jerry Sloan didn't have an NBA title, but he's got a ton of wins. So he's had a lot of success, and this was Mitch's first true year as the NBA head coach for the Spurs. So no, but I'll tell you what, with him having the all-time winningest coach and Pop still there, and now Billy Donovan there, he's going to have some Hall of Fame, voices in his ear. So, this is definitely going to help him
and Mitch is not ashamed to say that, yes, he does still tap on the shoulder of Popovich. So he still does that. By the way, I saw the other super chat, so I'm getting it ready because look what the super chat said. The next one.
I saw the photo of Billy screams command presence.
There you go. You got that photo right back at you.
I was going to say, how did you get him in a Spurs, shirt right away? But that's
that's a Bulls shirt. It's
Bulls a Bulls shirt. Oh, Bulls. Okay, I was gonna say, golly, Jeff, you're way ahead of everybody else. That doesn't even look like AI, man. God.
No. That's a Bulls long sleeve shirt. But the point is that I mean, he will bring a commanding presence to that coaching staff, to in games. You can't tell me you might see him be a little active on that sideline, and especially in the locker room and in training camp and et cetera, et cetera. So it's a great hire. Overall, this was Rudy, this was an A+ hire for me, man. A+. That's my grade on Billy Donovan.
I don't even think it's an A+. You have to keep adding a couple of pluses after that, man. This is a tremendous hire. This is a Bud Jones all you can eat catfish day with getting that's Billy Donovan here. Yeah, I mean that's Chamagacha, I guess. This is the type of fine dining you can have with Billy Donovan hired here. So that was a great hire, man.
Since you said that, because I think we're having for those that don't know, I'm hosting an anime convention in San Antonio this weekend, and one of the panels I'm hosting is called Kamagacha. So I was like, what? Like there's like the Japanese word for like buffet.
Yeah.
So, interesting. All right. We'll go back to that thing there. It says, I feel compelled to. Okay. One more time. We'll give you the picture one more time so you can get your salute in there. There you go.
Yeah, we'll give it back to them there.
I mean, look at that, man. I mean, that's going to be in the Spurs sideline now. That's going to be right next to Mitch Johnson. Watch Mitch Johnson get thrown out of more games next season just because he knows he has this guy next to him.
We have one person here says should be the head coach, but I don't know right away. I wouldn't think that far ahead, but
I mean, look at Brett Brown. Remember, Brett Brown came and he didn't want the head coaching spot.
Think about that, Jeff. So you lose Sean Sweeney, you get Billy Donovan, you still have Brett Brown, you have Corliss Williamson, Rashad Lewis, you have Billy Donovan now. This is almost like remember when I talked to you last year before the season started, I said they have the best coaching staff in the NBA. I kept telling you that, and I kept telling everybody in the summer that. I'm going into this summer the exact same way. They have the best coaching staff in the NBA right now. There's no other staff better than the Spurs with the Donovan hiring. And I mean, Jesus, man, do you think a Billy Donovan hiring, does it kind of already put the finals in the back burner where Spurs fans can start to kind of get over it a little bit now?
No, I think the expectations are elevated. Like,
Well, no, not expectations. I'm just talking about the final collapse that they had against the
oh
Knicks. Harris
no,
signing,
no,
Billy Donovan signing.
no,
Is it getting easier? No, not
no.
getting
I
easier.
think what maybe brings it down a little bit is the draft. Not to say it was a bad draft, but you gotta your top pick is likely going to be redshirted. You got 2 second rounders that are likely not going to play in San Antonio. They'll be spending a lot of time in Austin. Then you got Reed, who might crack the rotation, but is he ready to be an impact player? So there's that. And also, too, I think just the landscape of the NBA. I mean, you saw some Spurs fans react to the Tobias Harris, like, what are you doing? You know, this team did this. And look, you could have gotten Paul George for this. You know, I mean, what are you doing? So they're still out there. I think, so there's all that. But
you know what? I wish I could pay a super chat to our channel here because I'd love to pay a super chat so I can scream at all these Spurs fans who you could have had this, you could have had this, you could have had this. Well, damn, dude, I'm sure they called and they could
think it's
have.
NBA 2K, the video.
Yeah, perfect example, man. You this isn't 2K where you can just I'm gonna trade, Keldon Johnson for Anthony Edwards straight up. Why? Because I can. This is the NBA.
Because I can, he said.
World. Yeah, this is the real world. I mean, the Spurs they do their due diligence. They call in the free agents that they want. If they didn't call on free agents, it's because they don't feel they can fit their system. Maybe they can't afford it. So, yeah, the Spurs could have got, LeBron James for the Tobias Harris money. Who's to say LeBron didn't want to come? He probably didn't want to come here. I'm sure they called LeBron James and, Rich Paul and said, hey, what's the interest? Oh, he has a great chance of winning there. But where does he fit in that lineup? Is he going to get, 30 minutes a game? Well, if you're not playing your best player and Victor Wembanyama 30 minutes a game, how the hell are you going to play LeBron James 30 minutes a game? So there's a lot of different factors that people just have to chill the F out on, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look. So far, the Spurs did a good move bringing Tobias Harris. I gave it a B. Rudy gave it a B+. It seems like a lot of fans in the chat room are loving the pick. So obviously it was a good pick. Pick up for the Spurs with Tobias Harris. And we're all saying that Billy Donovan was an A++++++++, a good guy. That's probably the biggest get so far this offseason. But what do y'all think? We need to know what y'all are thinking about Tobias Harris, Billy Donovan. Let Rudy know on X at The Sports Answer. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. Subscribe to Spurs in Focus on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Podcast, and the Substack is completely free. Just Google Spurs in Focus Substack, and you're in. All right, let's go to start wrapping up the show. Real quick reminder, your summer Spurs kick things off tomorrow night. If you're listening to the pre-recorded tonight with Summer League out in California. Yeah. So they'll be having 3 games there, and then the big show, the big boys play at the Vegas Summer League as soon as that. Let me go to flash the Summer Spurs roster on the screen there, everybody. Obviously, the biggest name you can see is jumping out there is Carter Bryant. He'll be playing out there. And if y'all are freaking out by saying, oh, my God, Quaintance is on the roster, what? He ain't playing.
Yeah.
The Spurs, Corliss Williams made it very clear he is not playing. He's just there to observe, be with the team. So don't get too excited. But you're going to see Terrence Reed Jr. get some burn. Gillespie's going to get some burn. Brown's going to get some burn. So there you have it. There's your Summer Spurs roster. As always, Rudy, all I'm looking forward to see is just can they adapt to the NBA? Do not take wins and losses seriously, everybody. These are just glorified practices, aren't they, Rudy?
Yeah, they are. This is the time where you're going to see a player like Carter Bryant. Like we said earlier, he got his toes in the water. Now he's going to get full diving into the deep end. Now they're going to rely on him to up his game a lot more in the summer league. So expect Carter Bryant to be probably what kids consider a ball hog, take a lot more shots.
Don't throw a fit over that if he's ball hogging. They're probably telling him to be a ball hog.
They need him to shoot. They need him to work on his offensive game. So if he's shooting the ball a whole lot, great. If he's actually making passes, they want to try to get his playmaking ability up. Terrence Reed's going to be another guy I'm looking at, but I'm going to circle one guy, Jeff, because you always talk about like a David Jones Garcia type of player. RJ Davis out of North Carolina. Very, very good player. can be really good, streaky, and can definitely make the roster as far as Austin goes. So keep in mind, look for RJ Davis. If he gets some good playing time, you might see a little bit of a rise on him. But again, that's one guy that I'm looking for the way future. But yeah, this is going to be it. I mean, are they going to win the title? Probably not, but it wouldn't surprise me. These days, it's Summer League. I think I put more into Summer League than the Cup games anyway.
Yeah. I'm a little baffled, though. I don't see Rudy Campos, rookie out of San Antonio, on this one. What happened? I don't see your name on here.
Sadly, I'm going to have to work my normal job, so I won't be able to make the Summer League this year.
Darn it. I was hoping you can make the squad there.
So was I. So was I.
All right, I'll leave it up there for a few more minutes. Just y'all can take in that roster there. Quick schedule. So, again, the Spurs will tip things off at the California Classic tomorrow, or today if you're listening to it, Friday, July 3rd, against the Heat. Then they'll take on Sunday, July 5th. They'll be taking on the Warriors. And then they'll wrap up the California Classic versus the Lakers. And then they'll move on to Las Vegas. They'll start their Las Vegas run on July 9th against the Hawks. That'll be at 3:30 Central. All games are going to be on either Amazon Prime or ESPN or ESPN2. They got the Knicks on deck. They got the Milwaukee Bucks on deck. They have the Jazz on deck. Hey, that first game in Las Vegas, Rudy, San Antonio, Atlanta. What's that kid's name that's from San Antonio that went to Atlanta?
Wallace.
Was that
Wallace? Keaton Wallace?
Yeah. I think, is that the guy from?
Oh, no. Kingston Fleming. I'm sorry.
Fleming. Fleming. So Kingston Fleming will play against his hometown team for Spurs, Hawks. And there you have it. So Summer Spurs are here.
Kingston Fleming.
Somebody's already reacting to your RJ Davis take already. I don't know if you want to see that.
Well, yeah, guess who it is? It's the only Duke Blue Devil player or person. Well, there's a few Blue Devil guys in here. Right. Just because RJ Davis is a Tar Heel, Tim hates him. Come on.
No, okay. I don't know what was going on there. I was saying, wow. I was thinking like, Tim, it's just Summer League, man. Most of these guys you're not going to see in the Spurs roster. So I said
he would be good for. I can say the same for Malik Brown because he went to Duke. He's trash. I don't like him no more because he went to Duke. So,
and he'll likely be an Austin Spur for at least a full season. So
I hope not.
That guy has no offense, man. Malik Brown, like nothing. Like he's all defense.
Yeah, he's probably got more offense than you remember Yinka Dare out of George Washington.
No, I remember that. Remember back in the day, every time he made a basket, it was like a big deal.
Yeah,
like ESPN would like make a comment about, oh my god, Yinka Dare scored. Didn't he have that freaking massive drought where he didn't score for how many games? It was like crazy. Then
I can't believe we got a Yinka Dare mentioned in this.
I know.
This is weird, man.
All right, Rudy and I have been talking and yapping this whole time. It's your turn. Rudy's been monitoring the chat. Rudy, what do we got?
Tons of them. We got another super chat in here, Austin. I love Summer League basketball. It's my favorite time of year. I loved it as a kid, and I love it now. I'm excited. RJ Davis must watch. Can get hot. That's what I said. RJ Davis is a kid that, I mean, out of North Carolina, he can definitely, when he gets going, he gets going. And I remember those David Jones Garcia games, and everybody, oh God, he's going to be good. He's going to be good. RJ Davis can be that type of player. So again, I don't expect him to make the roster, but I do expect him, if they do sign him, he could be in Austin and could be a call up in the near future, in a few years. I mean, I expect him to go that Harrison Ingram route where he's improving, and eventually he may get that call up. So yeah, RJ Davis is that one guy.
Is he your Gary Neal, David Jones Garcia, Bryn Forbes fine this year?
No, not yet. Still has a lot of work to do. But could he be David Jones Garcia? You know what? I'll put a ceiling on him. If he can get going, Jonathan Simmons, maybe.
Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah.
I mean, I would say maybe get that kind of impact eventually, but it's going to be a long while, I think. Before
we got a Yinka Dare and Jonathan Simmons mentioned on the show today.
Dude. I know.
That's wild, man.
That's
sorry. Wild.
I got a bunch more I can bring up. But
waiting for a Judd Bushler soon.
Judd Bushler. What about a David Wood and his mask? I got Bill Laimbeer.
Oh my God, David Wood, man! I remember that guy. You know what? Also remember? I remember when Summer League was not a big deal. I remember covering a Summer League in 1999 or 2000, and it was dead. This is how desperate the NBA was. They would have let reporters get on the court and talk to the players on the bench. As long as you had a pass, you were good. You can go there. Now it's like lockdown city. I think I went to one of the final summer leagues before it just became a thing in the summer, like an event.
Yeah.
So it really times have changed. All right, what else we got in the comments?
Espinosa from earlier says he's got me on the beer, so I love that.
Coors, is that okay with you? A Coors is good, or
that's fine.
That's fine.
These days I drink anything, man. Anything tastes good. Derek Irvin said he likes the Billy Donovan in addition to the Spurs coaching staff. David says hi. Got another free agent player. I'm not saying the name. Possibly, I think everybody has a couple of free agent guys that they would like to see.
Rudy Campos, I would like to see that. Yeah.
No way. Does Tobias average 13.4 per game? Didn't. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. We flashed the stats earlier.
Tobias, and I like this coming from Tim. It was earlier, and I wanted to bring it up.
Okay.
Tobias Harris as a t-shirt to Terrace Reed Jr. I can see that.
And apparently to you and me too, Rudy.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Yeah, Rudy and Jeff. Yeah, both of us too. But yeah, I do like that, definitely. Remember pre-draft, a lot of credible guys saying Rudy was a Kawhi level San Diego State prospect. How was that? The Rudy probably never really was a San Diego.
Yeah.
I mean, he went to Gonzaga, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he went to Gonzaga.
Yeah.
Years ago, Rudy, I took part in a mock draft.
Uh-huh.
And with the Spurs' first pick in that mock draft, I took Rui Hachimura.
Yeah. I remember you told me that.
Yeah.
I do remember you were telling me about that.
Yeah.
Super Chat goes to the front of the line. Sap says, if Reed Jr. gets 14 to 20 plus boards and 4 plus blocks, I 100% am overreacting. You better believe it. I mean,
he probably is going to do that in summer league play.
Yeah. Terrace Reed, he's one of those guys where right situation, right moment, he could be and remember, I said he's like a Roy Hibbert. I mean, Roy Hibbert was not a bad player. And he's similar to what Terrace Reed's brings. He clogs up the paint. He can score inside the paint, can do a pick and roll. Is not going to give you, great jump shooting, but can block some shots, can get some rebounds. Yeah. I love it if he's becoming the next Roy Hibbert. I mean, then then you don't have to worry about going to get another big man because you got your big man in the future for at least the next 4 or 5 years, man.
Absolutely.
So definitely. Speaking of Summer League roster, where is Jeff Garcia? Scouting reports 3-and-D guy, mobile averages 5 blocks a game. It's all love, Jeff and Rudy. So you apparently are a 3-and-D type of player, Jeff, according to Austin.
Hey, every team needs a 3-and-D player. I'll definitely get the paycheck for that.
Yeah, well, we had the ultimate one in Kawhi Leonard, but we won't let that come back up anymore. So.
Can you imagine if he signed with San Antonio? Remember he said he wanted to go back to either Toronto or San Antonio. Well, that's reported.
I could imagine.
You think every all-Spurs fan would be up in arms right now? Or you think you'll be like, well, we forgive you, Claw. We're good.
It would have been all forgiven. I have no doubt about that.
Of course.
Billy Donovan coming to replace Mitch Johnson, not right away. We're calling it now. I don't.
Ooh, no, I think the Spurs are well invested in Mitch Johnson. Mitch Johnson would have to. I mean, it would be a complete collapse.
Bob Hill type of season, where he got fired and out of nowhere. But I don't think that happens again. Yeah, Mitch isn't going anywhere. LaFlop ruins the locker room and messes the current formula. LeBron's going to announce where he's taking his talents from a boys and girls club. Probably so.
Probably.
Part of me at Clutch thinks the Hard Knocks documentary following LeBron would be interesting. Probably so. Detroit loses Jalen Frazier. Detroit in trouble.
Oh my God! Now that's a potential free agent right there. But the Spurs ain't gonna have enough money for him. He's gonna want $1.
That's a trade. That's a trade right there.
Yeah, that's a signing trade right there.
Let's see. Keldon shit the bed. I have an image of Keldon. Let's see. Wemby should seek out Dirk to be able to develop a shot. I don't know. Wemby he's got a skyhook. I would rather him just.
Well, also too, he sought Dream. So what's the point? What's wrong with him?
How the hell do you not have a dream shake? I mean, you worked the whole.
He showed it off a little bit last year. There was sometimes he did it.
I didn't see. I must have missed it.
I saw it a few times. I was like, hey,
KJ went MIA in the finals. Trade this dude. Wemby rookie season. LaMarcus Aldridge says he needs a go-to.
Yep.
You brought that one up earlier about the crying the spilled milk. Builds team chemistry. Jeff and Tobias. Will Tobias be an HEB commercial along with Junior?
And by the way, real quick on the HEB commercials, what happened to them? Remember, it was a big event. It was a big deal. And
different
now it's
generation,
like,
Jeff. Different generation, Jeff. I mean,
I tell you that they're not funny anymore to me. I don't know if I'm getting older, but like I don't see the humor in Wemby reaching into a portal and grabbing food. Like, why is that funny?
I don't.
Or do we have to? Or does HEB have to always replay this over and over again?
Wasn't Kawhi? Kawhi was funny in those HEB commercials.
That's what I'm saying, but they're not funny like they used to be. Like the
different
Tim Duncan,
writers,
Brett Barry ones were good.
Yeah. Different writers. I don't know.
And like I don't get what's funny. De'Aaron Fox telling Wemby, "Hey, I got a grocery list," and then it's just a long scroll, and that's it.
Maybe HEB doesn't have the budget. They're making billions. They don't want to spend billions, to make commercials anymore. Julian come off the bench this season until Barnes hit a wall or is in the doghouse. Julian did start off on the bench. You want to make an omelet, you got to break some eggs. Somebody will probably get traded. Valanciunas is not available. He's only available through trade, I believe. So I won't see that happening.
You know what I call him? And they kind of stuck with the family, Valanciunas.
Valanciunas, wow. I hope you don't ever interview him and tell him that. That may not be a good thing.
Man, let me tell you.
Spurs need a defensive anchor backup center getting rid of De'Aaron Fox. It's not going to happen.
There it is again. They're getting rid of Fox.
Spurs need to attach a first rounder to salary dump Fox. It's not going to happen. He's saying that he wasn't going
that's
after
right.
you.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
Fox is the biggest mistake that the Spurs ever made, and y'all Spurs podcasters are scared to call it out. Mike Brown said it dearly that Fox was an idiot. Spurs decided to give him $245 million. So this is a good one.
I don't remember that.
I don't remember that.
He said idiot? Like he called him quote unquote idiot?
I don't. If he did, I don't remember that. So I'd love to see that comment somewhere. The Spurs podcasters are scared to call it out. Well, it's not that we're scared to call it out. You're not going to be able to do anything with De'Aaron Fox. I mean, no one's going to trade for him right now. And you would have to add some first round picks, but who's going to want picks that are going to be in the 20s, possibly low 20s? So, I mean, high 20s, probably not going to happen. And I don't know what Spurs podcasters you're talking about. It's definitely not us because we called out Fox when he had bad games. As much of a high horse as I was on De'Aaron, and as much as I tried to defend him a lot when he had bad
Rudy
games.
and I had a back and forth about it. About the whole getting high paid. I came, Rudy, it's not about the money. And I went off my tirade.
Yeah, and the thing is like I said it before. The thing with fans is like we paid him this much money. We paid him this much money. He's guaranteed that contract, whether it's a Spur, a Miami Heat, a Utah Jazz, whatever. He was going to get that money regardless. Spurs knew what they were doing. Can't blame them. I mean, again, you're overreacting to a team that overachieved. So that's what it comes down to. But I love the comment. I mean, again, I love the comment. I love when we get called out, even though I don't think it was us that did it. Harris is exactly what the Spurs need, a veteran role. Tobias Harris signing to remind you of Danny Ferry back in the day. I don't think it's Danny Ferry-ish.
No, he does a lot more than what Danny Ferry could do back in the day.
This is
there's a lot more.
This feels like a Steve Smith. Steve Smith
I think he still could do more than Steve Smith.
More, but I'm talking Steve Smith was a starter. He had an impact during that finals run. Michael Finley. I mean, there's guys that he's going to be better than that they signed, but I don't know.
I don't know why this just popped in my head. Remember when they signed Hedo Turkoglu?
Yeah, but I think he's better than Hedo Turkoglu. Yeah. Impact Speedy Claxton?
Okay, I can see that.
I mean, he won games for San Antonio when Tony Parker shit the bed. So Earl Abel on Broadway being brought up. I've never been to Earl Abel's, Jeff.
It's shut down, I believe. I don't think it exists anymore.
It did. I think it did shut down. Jeff needs to take the rookies to Bud Jones.
Hell yeah, I'll take it to Bud Jones. I'll get my chicken fried steak with brown gravy. Are you a brown gravy or a white gravy?
Brown. I like brown gravy.
I'm brown, man. I gotta go brown all the time.
Bud Jones with a house salad comes with a buttery cracker still in the wrapping.
Hey, remember back? I don't remember we went to Bud Jones back in the day, but remember they had those little mini jute boxes in the booths?
Mm-hmm.
And you just like press the button and they're like flip and you'll be just messing with that the whole time, and you put your quarters in and like, yay, music.
I found some of that was the first time I played Toad the Wet Sprocket. It was in one of those jute boxes. I kind of became a fan there for sure. Point guard is a hard role to fill and build towards. It definitely is. And right now they truly only have one point guard in De'Aaron Fox. Dylan Harper is a point guard, but he's not quite there yet. So he'll get there. See, Carter Bryant is about to leave Keldon. Bench Wemby. Love that one. Why not, right? We'll try it.
Hey, the Spurs did it a few times last season.
They did. I see the second unit changing, KJ moving, playing 3 to most of the 4, sometimes 5. And that's what I think I said earlier. You may see Keldon at that 5 spot a little bit more.
Undersized 5 though, man. They need size. They don't need to
They'll
get smaller.
they'll get it. They'll get it. No, you didn't throw us off our track at all. Does the Donovan hire put Mitch on notice? Shout out to
Not
Bear
at all.
County Social, man. Got a
Hey,
t-shirt.
Bear County, what's up, man?
Got a t-shirt from him, and it's awesome. I need to wear it.
I got a
for
t-shirt I
next
gotta
show,
wear on the next show. I can wear certain
Right here.
t-shirts now, and this one has a little vulgarity on it. So
I have a shirt from Bear that I'll wear at the next show as well.
okay.
I'll take CB over KJ right now. That's
Nah, I don't know about right now.
not right now, but
not right now.
maybe in time.
Yeah.
I think so. Bear, we need another center that's accountable for shooting on offense. Luke is not a threat to shoot the ball. He can knock down the 3. I just don't think they're giving him the
Did
opportunity.
he with the Knicks? Didn't he do that more frequently?
Boston, yeah, Boston. He was a 3-point.
In
He
Boston
could shoot
too,
the 3 ball as well. Trying to understand how y'all are thinking because I know that we saw the same finals, and I'm sure y'all saw Fox give up on the Spurs. I don't think he gave up on San Antonio.
I kind of think he was really banged up more than they let on.
The injury was there, and I was the first one to say I'm not going to put the injury on as an excuse. He was out there playing. He should have played better, whether he was injured or not. I will say that the injury was there, but I'm not putting that as an excuse. If Fox quit, Jeff, I think the Spurs staff wouldn't have believed in him. Obviously, they would have
traded him or something.
They believed in him enough to have him in those moments. So it was just a loss by that team, man. Trading KJ would hit hard. Yeah, we got all these.
It would be it'll be like right up there with George Hale getting dealt. Remember that?
Yeah, so Mangus is in here. Apologies if I missed it earlier, but who are some of your preferred free agents of the 2 remaining roster spots not named David Jones Garcia or Ingram?
And I know he said not named David Jones Garcia, but David Jones Garcia is going to get one of those last spots. At least him.
Probably so. Rui's obviously up there. You know what? That's a good question because I had a couple of guys. One guy, if you want to talk a big guy, Max Kleber is still out there. He had a good run with Dallas. He had a good run with Dallas. Maxi Kleber's been out there. He's still out there from what I'm seeing. Just a guy that give you minutes. He's not a great scorer. He's not good, but he's a big body. Do you want to go kind of a guy that's on the last couple of years of his career? Go get maybe a Larry Nance Jr. I mean, he's not going to cost you maybe but $1 million a year. So, I mean, these are veteran minimum guys. So those 2 guys are 2 guys that I had out there right now. I don't know where this came in. The advisor.
Billy Donovan. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jeff, when will the Spurs do introductory profiles to welcome Tobias Harris? I haven't got an email.
I don't think first of all, they haven't made it official yet.
I think June 3rd, tomorrow is when they can, or June 6th or something like that. So they can't have a press conference until they officially sign him. So we'll get those emails. Yet.
So likely probably next week.
Yeah, from a military perspective, Mitch is the commander, Donovan is the command sergeant major. Yeah, I mean, they're equal, I think, on all that stuff there. Tobias reminds me of Rudy Gay, but that's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah,
that's a real good
comp
one
right there. That's a good one.
Very good. Trade Luke KJ 2 second rounders for Miles Turner. I'm not mad at that. I mean, we brought it up earlier. If there's a player you can trade KJ for, what's the minimum? Miles Turner would definitely be that guy. Love this. He should be the head coach. We'll see if it happens.
Yeah.
Campos salute. That was the photo.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, Donovan looks like a 20-year-old command sergeant major. General Field at breakdown. Darth, why is no one talking about the possibility of Source the greatest player in the NBA? Bronny James. I love Darth. Darth is an old classmate of mine from Central, man. So love that he's on here. $1 trillion contract.
By the way, how long are the Lakers stuck with Bronny now?
Well, they picked up his year, so it's at least 1 year. And I said it on the show earlier with Derek. I said, it's funny, right? They pick up Bronny the day before LeBron says, peace, I'm out.
He must have really thought that he was going to stick around, LeBron.
I think they probably thought if we keep Bronny, he's going to stick around. And Bron's like, no, Bronny, you're on your own. You're a man now, so you can take care of this. Mitch is the 2 young LT fresh out of I forgot. It's military stuff.
We're old, everybody. We're old.
Yeah, Cups Spurs are in Group C.
That's a tough cup. Yeah, it's a tough cup group. I think they got the Warriors, the Blazers. Good Lord, I had it here. Warriors, Blazers, Nuggets are in that bracket. I'll get it to you in 2 seconds here. It's okay. I got it. It's the Lakers, Blazers, Kings, and Warriors. That's a tough out, man. Maybe not
That
the
is.
Kings, but depending if LeBron joins, the
Blazers
point
have
is
John Dame. I mean,
John Dame, and then guess what? They're all East Coast games, so late games. So there you
yeah.
go.
Harry Wessels to me is the biggest sign to the summer league. No, I don't think so. Not yet, John. Does that say 5'9"? I believe one of the players was 5'9". I'm almost as tall as that guy. Davis is too much hype. Could have gotten Tony as the first big three to coach Spurs back to the promised land.
Hey, Tony Parker is a coach now in France now.
Yeah, but
he's officially a head coach for Asvel.
Makes me wonder why he never comes back to the Spurs games like the rest of the guys do. But that's another show.
Once in a blue moon, he shows up. Like in an 82-game series season, I mean, maybe 3, he'll show up.
Perry says Terrace Reed Jr., a 4-year college player, is going to give a serious minutes to the post. He's going to be huge for us this year. I'm still up in the air on that. I think he could carve out a spot in the big man spot. I just need to see let's see how Summer League goes first. That'll tell us a whole lot here. I have a feeling Gillespie is exactly what we need, not scared, and a scoring threat. He's just so a great insurance policy
at the guard spot. The guy's a dog, man.
So undersized and not truly developed as a point guard just yet. So 2 or 3 years, I would say maybe so. Donovan is getting more out of the hire than the Spurs. Yeah. Terrace Reed reminds me of Antonio McDaniels for some reason. Antonio McDice, I would think.
Yeah.
I don't think
McDaniels. I think you meant McDice. McDice used to be a beast, man. I remember those days.
I just think McDice probably is a little more offensively better than Harris Reed, but I had thought of Nance as well. Would be surprised if he gets the last spot. Jaden Quinn is in fact a red shirt. We need just one more 4 or 5. Larry Nance would be good. Him or Kleber would be Maxi Kleber would be good. I would love Larry Nance for just a 1-year rental to get Jaden Quinton's red shirt in there. McDice, he met McDice.
Hey, real quick, because likely Quaintance is not going to play. I don't know if I'm reaching it. Do the Spurs get an injury exception or no?
No,
they don't.
No.
Okay,
not that I'm aware of. I don't know.
I don't know how that works with draft players coming in.
Anyway, I got a super chat. Speaking of
all right, what we got?
Thoughts on moving into the college campus arena and in Indianapolis or Metro in December? How does this fix the crowd problem?
First of all, I like the venue. I think that's nice, but that's going to be a hot ticket then.
Yeah.
I liked it in Vegas.
It was okay. I think it was okay in Vegas. I like that they're kind of moving it around a little bit. So,
that's the plan going forward now. So this year it'll be at the college campus there, and it's going to be just kind of a tour thing.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I'd like to get a tour.
Hey, Rudy, maybe he'll come to Seguin.
No, we don't have a big enough arena for that just yet. Until I get that Jeff Garcia money, I can't build it. So. Another super chat. It says from lethargic gambler tourist to what in Indy. Yeah, I guess this would be cool. I think they should maybe take it to a city that necessarily doesn't have an NBA squad. Kansas City would be
Seattle. Oh my! Can you imagine back in Seattle that one game?
Seattle would be good to get them before that expansion team hits. Seattle would be good. I say Kansas City because you could pay homage to the Kansas City Royals from back in the day. I mean, San Diego, the Clippers were there. So, I mean, some of these teams that, you could kind of pay homage to the old NBA squads there. So, I appreciate the super chat there. Let me get back to the gamblers,
he said.
Everyone watching Spurs and Focus, if you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's get them to 6K Spurs family. Exactly what Austin said.
Yeah, we're knocking on the door of 6K, everybody. So get it up to 6K.
Man, I need that in form of dollars, Jeff. So when you hit the lottery again, let me know. Okay. Could they also circle back and take a look at Yabusele? I think Jeff is right with the DJG. Yeah, and I mentioned Yabusele. Yabusele was one of the guys I said is a free agent target that they should get. I mean, he's going to be relatively cheap. Plays very well.
He has no offense, though, man. He has no.
You just need a body, or do you want offense? You need a body. Yeah. So his body's good. UNC is the toilet of the NCAA basketball. Duke is the greatest. See what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Shots fired. Shots fired.
See what I mean? How do y'all feel about Fox not getting protected during the expansion draft? I think there's a possibility he could not be protected. Let's get through this season. If he gets through this season, has a better season, then of course he's going to be protected. The other reason why I don't think they protect him, maybe because of that contract. It's kind of a free way out. because I think one of those teams would take De'Aaron Fox at that deal.
Oh, in a heartbeat. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that would be the quickest way out of the contract without trading him or losing any pieces like draft picks. It's not one game, it's 5 days. So, yeah, I mean, it's over the cup. I think is what he's talking about there.
Oh, okay.
Those are all the comments, man.
Nice. Y'all guys did a bang-up job with the comments, man. Hey, before we put a bow on this show, man, did y'all see if this happened weeks ago? Remember Boban? The gentle giant, John Wick star, the goofy guy, the guy who literally intentionally missed free throws so the home team can get what were they, burgers or chicken fingers or something like that?
Sandwiches or something.
Something like that. Well, I'm going to show y'all a video of Boban like you've never seen him before. So apparently he's not playing in the NBA right now. He's playing with a Slovenia team. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but they had to restrain him from going in the stands, everybody. Like he wanted to have a Malice in the Palace moment. Check it out, everybody. That's a scary moment right there. I never seen Boban that pissed off. Yeah. Whatever was said to him in the stands, he kept on looking at the stands. He wanted to get up there. Yeah, it must have been egregious, Rudy. Can you imagine a Boban Marjanovic pissed off at you and wants just to throw hands on you?
I saw the video. I don't even want to get near him. I commend the guys that held him back because if Boban really wanted to get to the crowd, I think he could have got to that crowd. Yeah.
I think he could have overpowered whoever was holding him back.
Oh God, definitely, man. Victor says the contract best way to get out of it. Yeah, and that's what we just said about De'Aaron.
Draft. Yeah,
put him in the expansion draft. If you really don't like that contract, put him in the draft and see what's going on. What's up, Rudy? Go Spurs go at Fast Hands 02. What is up, man? Appreciate you joining us here. We're at the end of it, but again, you can always join us here on Spurs in Focus, man.
Sure.
Boban angry. Don't make Boban angry. You don't make Boban angry. Yeah, you don't want to mad Boban at all, man.
Yeah, definitely it's not. Like the Hulk. He's trying to do the Hulk impression there. But hey, everybody, we thank y'all for the super chats. Everybody who contributed. We also thank y'all for joining us here on this live episode of Spurs in Focus. Yeah. And it's a long one, so since it's a long holiday weekend, you got something to listen to. You need to kill some time until we reconvene this coming Monday. Yes, there will be a Spurs in Focus this Monday. I have a special guest lined up. Hopefully, it pans out, but I'm going to coordinate that. If not, the gentleman you see on your screen will be joining me on Monday there. It says Boban should be cast as a Swamp Thing. Man, I think he should be that moment, man. What about Jason from Friday the 13th, man? I mean, seriously, he was just on a mission.
What about Man-Thing, Marvel-wise? That would be...
Yeah, Man-Thing was calm. He was cool.
That's true.
What about Beastman from Master of the Universe?
Could be. Man.
Could be. Or Mechanic, because he's just tall. And he can just... tall.
I can definitely see that. Boban is the Brood Squad.
Yeah, he is, man. Is, man. But anyway, Rudy, what is going on with the answer, man?
Yeah, so Derek Irvin and myself are part of the Sports Answer, which is on Answer Now TV. We have a weekly show. It's either going to be the Friday Drive, or a show that we introduced today went live. It's called the Sports Answer, the Thursday Night Delight edition. So you get myself, you get former NBA player Derek Irvin. We talk a lot of NBA, a lot of NFL. We talk a lot, period, of any sport out there. So be sure to join it. Answer Now TV. It comes on Thursdays or Fridays, one of the 2 days we're live. We always make the announcement on there. And also you can catch Spurs in Focus, part of Answer Now TV as well. So
absolutely.
Yeah, man, we got a lot going on, and NFL coming up. So it's just going to, I don't have any breaks, dude. I have no days off ever.
You don't. Yeah. It's crazy. You don't, man. Hey, I just thought about this right now. Talk about free agents and bringing additional bigs. Why not Boban?
No.
And he could be reunited with Tobias Harris.
He could. That would be perfect. That was a match made in heaven.
Buds, man. They even did commercials together.
That would be perfect.
Is that the plan? Bring Boban back?
No.
Join Tobias Harris? I don't know. The Spurs do need bigs.
They need.
And then him and Wemby, who's scoring on that duo?
Well, yeah, but also, I mean, who's going to guard the outside perimeter?
Yeah,
I mean,
that. Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of offensive 3 or defensive 3-second calls. Put it that way. So
It's just a little bit, man.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Anyway, Rudy, thank you for taking time out of your busy
Sure.
schedule to join us here on Spurs in Focus. Make sure to follow him on X at The Sports Answer. You want to do that right now. Everybody else, we thank y'all for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Every day, every second, every week. We got Summer League starting. It's free agency period is now open. We'll keep you up to the latest, what's going on with the Silver and Black. You could probably even do that more and then some over at the Spurs in Focus Substack, which is completely free. Google it right now, Spurs in Focus Substack. Then hit subscribe and you're in. And speaking of subscribing, as y'all mentioned in the comments, we're close to 6,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Let's get that up there. So you got friends, family, just tell them hit subscribe and we would appreciate it. And you can find us on Amazon Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube Music, YouTube itself. No excuse for you to not find Spurs in Focus wherever you get your favorite podcast. So I mentioned we'll be back on Monday as the Spurs offseason continues. We got Summer League. We got a bunch of stuff to talk about. So look for us again this coming Monday. Rudy, it's been a pleasure, buddy. Thank you for staying up late here on a live episode of Spurs in Focus. So for Mr. Rudy Campos, I am Jeff Garcia, and now you're in focus with Spurs in Focus.